Okay, so this is my home climbing wall. Um, just want to talk a little bit about construction because a lot of people have made these, and I wasn't really sure which design I wanted to go with here. So we have a 4 by 8 piece of plywood there. Um, this is these all of these planks are 2 by 6s. This one is 6 feet. I think in retrospect I would have liked it to be a bit longer, but what I like about this length is that when I fold it up, it lays flat with the frame. Uh, these are all 92.5 inches. They're just short of 8 feet, such that when the 2 by 6 by 4 feet there and at the bottom are attached, the combined thickness of these reaches 8 feet so that it is flush with the plywood. I've got some more supports in the back, so every foot and a half I have another plank, and since it's only a 4 by 8, you've got 4 planks in total. So yeah, that's all of the wood. These are held together by a 3/8 inch bolt with a nut in the back. And then I've got some eye bolts there and there, which are connected by ratchet straps. Now, every 6 inches, I have 3/8 inch T-nuts here. One thing that I wish I knew before I did this was that you have to be very, very careful about how straight you hammer in the T-nuts and how straight you drill the holes. I thought I was careful, apparently not enough, because a lot of these do not work. But a lot of them do. And then as far as what is going on up here, I thought it would be cool to put some more eye bolts up there so that I could hold on to one of those holes and practice clipping. With just like a 5-foot rope hanging from a harness, I could practice clipping in, taking the draws off and switching them back and forth. Now, as far as paint, I painted this with some outdoor paint because I wanted it to be able to hold up to the elements. As I look and see a couple of, bits of cosmetic damage here and there, I realize I could patch it up, but also part of me just wants to keep it indoors. In retrospect, I think it would have been better to just get treated wood that did not need to be painted, although it does look kind of nice, I think. And a last thing is that because a 2 by 6 is not exactly 2 inches by 6 inches. In fact, it's quite a bit smaller. When all of these pieces are laid end to end, the frame itself is actually a little bit less than 4 feet, which means that on one side the plywood is sticking out. So if I were to redo this, well, what I should do right now is just put some shims in here, because right now you can see there's a little bit of an angle where this is up against the wall, but in order to contour around the plywood, it has to come out a bit. With a shim, I wouldn't have to do that, although, ideally I would like for there to be some spacing so that the frame is actually the exact same width as the rest of it. I think that's about it as far as measurements, tools, whatever. The tools that I used for this, I used a socket wrench to put the holes in and out. I needed a drill to drill the holes. Oh yeah, I hammered in some nails to attach the plywood to the frame, and the frame is put together with wood screws. I think the wood screws are around 3 inches, and then the nails are 1 3/4 inches. And that's about it. What I like about this design is that the ratchet straps allow the angle to be adjusted, and you can see here I have a very low ceiling. So I wanted this to be as close to vert as possible, but what's nice is that I can just cock it up until it's about at the ceiling level. And so, with limited space, hence why I only have a 4-foot wide wall, with limited space horizontally, limited space vertically, you can, at least adjust it so that, a low ceiling is not a barrier to creating your own wall. And that's about it. I'll add another video clip after this if there is anything that comes to mind here. Oh, One thing is that if you are planning on doing a wall like this yourself, I would highly recommend figuring out exactly what angle you want this wall to be. And if it will be too steep, make sure to order holds that have the word steep in them. Um, these holds, these crimps are quite challenging, probably like around V7, maybe V6 at this angle. And I thought that they would be a little more gentle. So yeah, just be aware that, if you're ordering holds online, I ordered mine through Atomic, make sure that the angle will make these usable and also at the level that you want. Because, I can do a couple problems on these, but I've predominantly been doing laps going up and down. And, at some point I might be going up and down and clipping. But, if you want it to be easy enough for you to be able to run laps on it, just make sure that the holds aren't going to kill you. Yeah, I think that's about all that comes to mind right now. Also, I had to hand cut a few of these boards due to the size. Really, just figure out the measurements when you go to Home Depot or wherever. It'll save you a lot of time. It was kind of a fuck up on my part. And if you have some sawhorses, seriously, very useful, even though mine were very wobbly. I was working with not the best conditions, but yeah, just kind of letting you know what my experience was with this. And that's about it.